Have you ever wanted to own your own bump stock company? Well, now you can. Slide Fire is for sale. What's up, Wolverines? Welcome back to the channel. My name is John Crump, and I am a two-way journalist covering everything gun-related and Right to Bear Arms related. Because remember, the Right to Bear Arms does not just involve guns, it involves a lot of different things. And a little bit later on today or tomorrow, we're going to be talking about the butterfly case, so stay tuned for that. In the meantime, if you can do me a big favor, like, comment, and subscribe, it would help me out tremendously, and I would appreciate it. Today, we're going to be talking about bump stocks. As we all know, last week we got a decision from the Supreme Court in Cargill versus Garland that said that the ATF banning bump stocks overstepped their powers. Basically, it said that the ATF violated the Administrative Procedures Act, and it's not Congress, and cannot make its own laws, which it did with bump stocks. That case is going to have rippling effects across the 2A landscape. It's going to affect cases such as the frames and receiver case. It's going to affect the engaged in the business case, and it will affect the pistol brace case, which is not appealed quite yet, but I believe it will be. And the reason why it will affect those is because the decision said that the ATF violated the APA, which is the same exact claim the other parties in the other cases are making. So if bump stocks violated the APA, then all these other cases are going to violate the APA too. So the writing's on the wall for the ATF, and these unconstitutional laws, which I do call laws because they are de facto laws, they're not rules, they're laws disguised as rules, are going to go down in flames, which is a good thing. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. The original creators of the bump stocks are the one that's most famous. Slide Fire is up for sale. Today, they posted something on their Twitter and Instagram saying that the company is for sale, 100%. All stock that remains, all patents, the websites, everything is for sale. Basically, they are getting out of it. Now, if they don't sell, then they're just going to not produce anything and shut down, take the money, and run. Right now, the website that they sell their bump stocks on is up, and they are selling bump stocks. They're incredibly inflated in price from where they were, but I guess demand, because there's not a lot of companies out there that have a bunch of bump stocks. When the case went to court, they had a lot of stock left, and they had to sit on that stock until the decision was made by the Supreme Court. And now that decision is made, they're allowed to sell. Anyone that buys the company will be allowed to sell bump stocks. Now, there are certain states out there that ban bump stocks, including my home state of Virginia. But if you are in a free state, you should be able to buy a bump stock right now, no problem. There's probably going to be a lot of other companies popping up selling bump stocks. But right now, it looks like Slide Fire still have a bunch of inventory, and they are selling them for a incredibly inflated price. Now, if I had the money, would I buy the company and start selling bump stocks? My answer is probably not, and I'm going to tell you why. Companies like Rare Breed and other companies like that are selling force reset triggers. Right now, the ATF considers those machine guns, but force reset triggers are not machine guns, and if you look at the bump stock rule, it is likely that the Supreme Court will agree with that, and the lower courts will too. In fact, Rare Breed has an injunction. So looking at that and comparing force reset triggers to bump stocks, I can say that the force reset triggers are a lot better product than bump stocks. So I don't see the market for bump stocks with force reset triggers out there. Right now, the bump stocks that Slide Fire is selling is around the same price as a force reset trigger that you can get from Rare Breed right now because they have an injunction. Force reset triggers are just a better product. And I know that the injunction only applies to the FRT 15 triggers, but with the Cargill decision, I can see the courts going ahead and vacating the ATF's decision to rule that force reset triggers are auto sears. And with that in mind, I can see an explosion of force reset triggers. Right now, bump stocks are selling for the same price as an FRT 15, might be a little bit more than the FRT 15, and the FRT 15 is just a lot better. Now, if the courts decide that the injunction that Rare Breed has against the ATF enforcing their unconstitutional gun laws against them, then that might change my opinion. But I just don't see that happening with bump stocks, because the bump stock case said that the ATF cannot change the definition of a machine gun to meet its political needs. And that's exactly what they did with force reset triggers. So I can see a day coming soon where all force reset triggers are illegal across the country as long as the states say it's okay. Now, do I believe that force reset triggers should be banned anywhere? No. Do I like the laws in the states that ban force reset triggers? I also do not think those are constitutional, but they exist, so I can't tell you that it's legal in all states when it's really not. So the decision is up to you to make. But once the whole entire force reset trigger thing gets knocked down for everyone, I can see things like Tim Hoffman's super safety exploding, because that's what I really want. I want a super safety. That thing is incredibly cool. It's 3 stages. It's awesome. And I think it works better than any other force reset trigger that I have used. So, yeah. And they're cheaper too, which is a good thing. So would I buy Slide Fire? My answer is no. I wouldn't really get into the bump stock business right now, considering the force reset trigger thing is probably going to go our way, which is a good thing. You might make some money in the short term because the only company right now that is allowed to sell force reset triggers is Rare Breed, with the exception of TACCOM and their 3MR trigger, which functions differently, but close enough. So I would not buy it. I would just hold off and wait till the force reset trigger stuff is all settled and launch a force reset trigger company. But I'm not going to do either. And if you want to buy a bump stock company, Slide Fire is for sale. Go ahead and check it out. I am out of here. So stay ever vigilant, stay ever free, keep in the fight. See you later. Bye.